Welcome back to Raceweek Illustrated Garage Talk. In NASCAR action, the Sprint Cup Series made their first short track appearance of 2013 as they tackled the famed Thunder Valley that is Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch and Casey Kane would lead the field down to green to get the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series underway at Bristol. Kane would pace the field for much of the day. Lap 390, Jeff Gordon is leading when a flat tire sends him into the wall and leaves Matt Kenseth with nowhere to go. Both their days are over. In replay, you can see Kenseth just has nowhere to go and wipes out the entire front end of his Toyota. Checkered flag now as Casey Kane scores the victory. It's his first NASCAR Sprint Cup victory at Bristol and his first win of 2013. He gets to celebrate in victory lane with his crew, but the action behind the scenes is far from over. Joey Logano had an on-track run-in with Denny Hamlin, which led to this pushing and shoving match in the garage area. Logano was challenging for the lead on lap 349 when a tap from Hamlin from behind sent Logano into the wall and out of contention, and that led to this post-race discussion, which was quickly broken up by NASCAR officials. So it's Casey Kane with the win, Kyle Busch in second, Brad Keselowski third, Kurt Busch in fourth, Clint Bowyer finished fifth. Let's hear from the top three.
Feels really good to win at this place. It's such a tough track over the years. My first time here in 2002 was just something couldn't believe the way that you drove, as hard as you drove here, and the way things happened so quickly. And to win a Sprint Cup race here feels really good. We had a awesome, great clip Chevy SS throughout the race. The pit calls were perfect. The pit crew did a really good job with pit stops and just able to race hard the whole race. I mean, that's all you can do at Bristol, and it worked out for us. It feels really good to get in victory lane and get our first win, first Sprint Cup win pretty early in the season.
Yeah, we've seems like we've had good cars every week, and like I said, almost pulled one off last week at Las Vegas, and then to get the win here at Bristol is pretty cool. We had a pretty good car all weekend. We started off Friday a little bit off the pace. We missed it just a little bit, but we ended up rebounding pretty good for qualifying, and that set the tone for today. You know, we had good track position all day, so key to that was qualifying and then having good pit stops all day, and you know, making the right pit calls all day, which I felt like from where we were sitting, the pit calls were fairly obvious, you know, what to do, and we maintained our track position. We didn't have to overcome that very much at all, so that was good. The car handled pretty good all weekend and handled really good in the race. So fortunately, we came out on top when it counted.
Yeah, it was a good run for us. You know, battling back from our pit road penalty, which we need to stop. If we didn't have so many of those, we'd probably be a lot better off. And being able to work on our car further up front, you know, there's a little bit of difference there when you run back in traffic. But all in all, we battled back. Crew chief made some good calls, and the pit crew did a good job on pit road. And then, you know, you got to hustle it and really drive hard out there on the racetrack, especially after restarts, and then, you know, get what you can get. But good day for the M&M's Camry. Wish it was a little bit more, but you know, there at the end, we're probably holding up the guys behind me. But I just track position's everything here anymore. You know, it's frustrating the way that is, but. You know, I wish I could have kept up with the 5, but he just took off and left us all, and I was just too tight there at the end, really battling center of the corner turn, just not being able to get it to do what it needed to do. Kind of similar to what we fought in practice, so we got to work on that.
Yeah, you know, at the end it started to come together, and we weren't very close at the start, that's for sure, but the guys on the 2 team got it dialed in there towards the end and had a shot at a solid finish. I don't think I had anything for Casey. I don't know if anyone did. He was so good through the middle and really everywhere. He was kind of a league of his own, but I'll be damned if that was going to keep me from trying. So he drove a good race, got himself in position, and worked me over pretty good. And somehow we worked through traffic and got back by him. But obviously that last yellow, you know, I haven't seen a replay of what happened, but cost us the lead. And you know, kind of hung in there and raced Kyle here pretty hard for second, and then Kurt came in there and raced pretty hard for third, and we just had a good battle going there. I kind of hated to see that one come to an end.
On Saturday, the NASCAR Nationwide Series did battle on the Bristol High Banks, with the final lap coming down to a battle between 2 very talented drivers. As the laps wound down, Kyle Larson in the 32 had used the high line to close in on leader Kyle Busch in the 54, and as they came off the fourth turn of the white flag, it looked like Larson might get a chance for the win. Larson closes in turn 1, looks to the high side, but Busch anticipates the move, and he takes the line away. As the two move down the backstretch, Busch moves to the low line in turn 3, anticipating lap traffic. Larson gets to the outside. Will he make it? No, he comes up just short, as Kyle Busch holds off Kyle Larson to score the victory in the second closest ever Bristol finish in history. In replay now, you can see Larson gets the run on the outside. He just clips the outside wall, then bounces off of Busch. The two bump and bang, with Busch coming away with the victory. Busch led the most laps, leading twice for 156 circuits. That gives him the right to do the smoky burnout and taste the delicious Bristol Victory Donuts. It's the second Nationwide Series win for Busch of 2013, and what better way to enjoy the win than with a cockpit full of smoke and dust? So it's Busch with the win, Larson in second, Brian Vickers is third, Sam Hornish Jr. in fourth, Kevin Harvick is fifth. Let's hear from the top three.
I ran the top in 1 and 2, and I gained so much ground on the 70 car that I thought I'm going to run into the back of it coming off turn 4. So if they go into turn 4, I don't even know who was driving it, but if they go into turn 4 and they slow down any little bit and it hurts my run at all coming down the banking, then Larson may have enough speed on the bottom to beat me back to the line. So I just wanted to take the chance of going down to the bottom and knowing that the start-finish line was only halfway down the straightaway, that I just needed to lunge off the corner and make it to the start-finish.
I got loose inside of Kyle getting into 3, and luckily you weren't close enough to me, so I could slide up to the top and get back going. And I tried a couple moves on Kyle to get around the bottom, and just was a little too tight off to get back to the throttle. And then the last lap, I was pretty happy he went to the bottom to block a slide job or whatever, and because gave me one more shot to try and get some momentum to get around him, and he left me just enough room to squeeze the outside, and just missed it by a couple feet. But it was a lot of fun, and just got to thank my whole crew and Cottonelle and Nationwide Insurance for the great series.
I think that the last year at this track, it really did a lot for me personally, my confidence, but also for the team and just in general. It was great to run up front. It was great to lead laps and contend for a win. Today was a good solid points day for us, and tomorrow's all about going for a win.
Dylan Kwasniewski scored the win in his first ever race on the high-banked Bristol Motor Speedway on Saturday, as he scored the victory in the season opener for the NASCAR K&N Pro East Series. Kwasniewski led a race-high 96 laps en route to the victory. Brett Moffitt came across the line in second, with Ryan Gifford in third, Michael McGuire in fourth, and C.J. Faison in fifth. Let's hear from the top three.
It was awesome to have a car like that. It was pretty much just as good as it was at the start of the race at the end of it. But thanks to my sponsors, Royal Purple, Rockstar, and Curb Records. Without them, I wouldn't be able to go out there and put that Turner Scott Motorsports car in victory lane. Like I said, that thing was on rails. It was so good, and to win at a track like this at Bristol, there's nothing like it. And also to get the first win of the season, it definitely gives us a lot of momentum going into the rest of it.
We had a great race car. It was actually, if you would ask me this morning, I would not have said that. I was a little worried about it going into the race, but the car stayed under me the whole race, and we could stay right there with him. But his car would take off good on the first few laps after a restart, and he'd get away, and we'd maintain. But it was fun racing. The outside groove is fun. It's not very many tracks we get to do that, so that's what's great about Bristol. And it was a good day for HRE, and glad to come out here second.
Well, first of all, it was good to be back on the podium. Good start to the year. I think that this kind of reassures us that what we did over the winter was going in the right direction, and to be able to run up there with Brett and Dylan. I think all their equipment's really good, and I think ours is right there with it. So we should be able to contend all year.
Time for us to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Rattler 250 along with more short track results from around the region. You're watching Raceweek Illustrated Garage Talk. We'll be right back.